Well, welcome to Impact Wrestling Turning Point 2020. This will be, I guess, technically episode 19. I think it's a good show. To run you through the card, we will be kicking off with the Guns versus the Good Brothers, then Swann versus Young in a hardcore match, Trey versus Bay, Heath and Rhino versus the North, Deonna Purrazzo versus Susie, Sami Callihan versus Moose, and Eddie Edwards versus Impact Wrestling Champion EC3. Let's get into it. Now we have a couple of dark matches just to give some people some wins, get some people some momentum back, and get people on the card. The Deoners beat followed by TJP. Nothing much to say here. 42 is decent. Good performances from Cousin Jake and TJP. Not sure why Cousin Jake is so good. He's the one that turned heel on Impact recently, right? Is he that much better than Cody Deoner? Let me know down below if you think I should also align him with Eric Young like they did in real life. Admittedly, in real, I wouldn't be tempted to split the Deoners. I'd be more likely to turn them both and line them with Eric Young, so keep that in mind if you want to see the Deoners with Eric Young. No, it'll be the Deoners and not just Cousin Jake. Also, TJP has a tendency to complain about not being on the card for impacts and stuff if it's too many in a row, so we put him on this pay-per-view so that I could have him lose to the Deoners. Then we kind of get, a lot of the knockouts on the card here. Something for Jordan Grace and Kylie Ray to do. As well as, I'm playing around with the idea of the Knockouts Championships, Tag Team Championships, I should say, which I think might work. Havoc puts up good enough ratings to be involved in it, as do, Rosemary and Taya Valkyrie. Tenille doesn't have a partner at the minute, of course. Kira Hogan does. And, of course, the Knockouts Tag Team division would be something for Jordan Grace to be involved in, given the fact you can compete for the belt while Deonna Purrazzo is champion. Of course, that could all end tonight. But a 40 is a good rating. Some of the women have done better than others. But, Tenille, Rosemary, and Taya Valkyrie, all kind of looking like contenders for the Knockouts title in those ratings there. Then a really big match, a 53 rated match on the pre-show. A real way to heat up the crowd before the big event, as the team of Ace Austin, Madman Fulton, and Rob Van Dam defeat Storm, Mac, and Crazy Steve. With Steve, of course, taking the pin and being, of course, the weak link. The only person getting under a 40 in this. 58 for Austin. So, genuinely, I think the kid at the minute is almost in World Championship stratosphere. Same, Fulton's getting a 47. Same with Van Dam. James Storm a 54. 48 for Willie Mack. So there's some really, really good ratings in there. But just remember, Ace Austin's getting a 58. So we'll have to look at what Eddie Edwards, Sami Callihan, and EC3 get later, because they're sort of our other big three. Just for comparison's sake. We open up again. Pay-per-view opener. Josh Matthews, Don Callis. No Matt Striker again, obviously, because he's with AAA, but that's fine. And then we will cut into a similar video package to what we've seen on Impact Wrestling covering the Guns' legacy, but this time it's more focused on Alex Shelley. We acknowledge the fact he's away. Yes, it is my mistake, but what can you do? Impact will send him off in the right way, I hope. So we highlight all of his big wins, his big matches, his tag team with Chris Sabin, and so we get people in the mood to sort of send off Alex Shelley the way that he should do, because I think while he may not go into the Impact Hall of Fame alone, I think it's quite likely that the Guns will go in together. So you want to let him go out so that the fans remember him highly, so that when he comes back maybe in 3 years or whatever, when AEW are done with him, if we're still booking this, or if I'm still booking it privately, you can have Shelley come back and get a Hall of Fame induction with Sabin. 56, a great rating to kick off the show proper, as of course the Good Brothers defeat the Guns with Anderson pinning Shelley after the Magic Killer, and they are now the Impact World Tag Team Champions. Everybody got in a very similar range there as well. A lot of tag team specialist bonus. Gets the crowd hot. Just what you like to see. Shelley takes the pin. 16 minutes. And I think, you know, this... And the tag team division is going to have a few pieces to pick up now that the Guns aren't there. Because obviously we can't have a Guns Brothers rematch. So we'll have to see what the tag team division does next month. Then again, 42. Peaceful send-off. Peaceful send-off. We don't kill Alex Shelley off. Mainly because I think we need... a new, I guess, ace face tag team while we're here, and I'm not ready to put the Rascals there just yet. So, the Guns have to be in... If the Guns going out, the Good Brothers have to be in that role for a little while longer. Then we have a EY Rich Swann hype package. I'm not sure if I'm totally pleased with the way this has been going, because I think they could be getting better ratings. We'll see what the hardcore match gets, but maybe if this isn't doing as well as I hope it will, we might cut it off at 2. So we'll just get in and see then. 48 is not awful, but for 2 guys who are realistically main event caliber, should we not be hoping for more? Let me know in the comments down below if you guys think that Swann and Young has run its course. Their hardcore match is decent, which Swann of course gets the win in 14 minutes with a tornado spin kick. Rich Swann got a 43, Eric Young got a 45, so it's not bad. We'll actually maybe evaluate both guys in the booking breakdown at the end of the month, and we can, or well after this pay-per-view, and we can sort of see maybe if it's just time for both men to move in different directions or not. And then Swann celebrates to 39, not bad. Big babyface celebration for Swann so far. Nice big happy moment into the card. We'll just, you know, continue to build on that. With 53 rated, straight in, Chris Bay and Trey Miguel have a decent match with Trey defeating Chris Bay in 14 minutes with a Yoshi tonic. Trey is now a one-time Impact X Division champion. 53 rated, 49 in ring for Trey, 54 for Chris Bay. A really good match. I think it was time to move on the belt to Trey. This was always going to be how the rivalry went. Maybe not at this pay-per-view, but because I think Leo Rush with Chris Bay extends his title run a little bit. It gives Bay maybe an extra month or something, or 2 months of running from Trey, even maybe another feud with somebody else. But I think for now we're going to move Chris Bay into the challenger role against Trey Miguel for next month. And, you know, Trey Miguel can be our Big Babyface X Division champion. And it's actually a really good match, and, you know, both men got good ratings. Better than the previous match against Talent, who in my head would be higher up than them in the card. And so maybe that's something we need to reevaluate. Maybe the young talent in Impact Wrestling is all ready to go to the top, and maybe we don't need to stall it like maybe we have been. So maybe a big push for Chris Bay could be in the future, now that he's after the X Division feud with Trey Miguel ends. 32, not a great celebration, but you know, Trey gets his title, the Rascals come out, they embrace, they lift Trey up on their shoulders, and the crowd are able to celebrate with Trey Miguel while he's, you know, covered in confetti. And, you know, it's another big babyface moment, and then Trey can move on, and, you know, will be our main person in the X Division. Possibly considering doing a Super X Cup. If you guys think that would be good, let me know. I think a Super X Cup could be good. It could let us highlight a lot of the X Division guys that we don't highlight, build some guys up, and also maybe bring in some new names. And especially with a new champion now, it could be an interesting tactic. 54, a good rating for this tag team match. Really, actually think this might be our best pay-per-view so far. As Heath and Rhino defeat the North in 10 minutes after Heath pins Ethan Page. And again, in this match, I tossed and turned on this. It's not a roll-up. It's a legitimate pin. Heath and Rhino proved that on tonight they were better than the North. Heath gets a 48, Rhino a 50. Josh Alexander 52 and Ethan Page 46. Tag team bonuses. Yeah, we're trying to bring Heath and Rhino up into the tag team division top tier. And a win over the North will do that. And we just, throughout the match, I would imagine the commentators would highlight how good the North are, but Heath and Rhino's victory would be very much not a fluke. And then again, their celebration actually is really good with a 52. So maybe there is actually a top title feud in Heath and Rhino in the future. Deonna Purrazzo makes her elaborate entrance, 34, for her title match with Susie. Deonna Purrazzo defeats Susie in 49. That's a good match, I think. As Purrazzo submits Susie with a Fujiwara armbar in 12 minutes. As Purrazzo makes defense number 3 of the Impact Knockouts title. 46 for Purrazzo, 44 for Susie. And again, as you can see, when we look back at the 8-woman tag from earlier on the show, they're getting very similar ratings to like Taya Valkyrie, Daniel Dashwood, and Rosemary. So maybe there's some feuds in the future for Deonna Purrazzo. After the match, though, Purrazzo will be pulled. She'll get off of Susie, who has the Fujiwara armbar. She'll take her title. When the ref tries to raise her arm, she'll push him away, and she'll lock in the Fujiwara armbar again, and wrench, and officials will come out, and she'll keep wrenching. And you see Kylie Rae run to the ring. You see Deonna Purrazzo just, like, in some, I'm sure, safe way, she snaps the Fujiwara armbar. You hear Susie yell. Kylie Rae gets to the ring. Deonna Purrazzo rolls out. So Kylie Rae is just slightly too late to save her friend Susie from getting her arm. What we can assume would be in kayfabe broken. On to the next segment. Is that our next non-guys feud? Kylie Rae, Deonna Purrazzo. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. 47, Moose hypes up his match with Sami Callihan afterwards, saying that he gets his 2020 back on track, because after he gets 2020 on track, 2021 Moose is World Champion in Impact Wrestling. Again, in his words. Obviously, he's never really been the champion. 57, great match. For those of you maybe a little disappointed, Moose does not beat the most overman in our company, as Sami Callihan defeats Moose in 14-15 with a curb stomp. 57 is a great match. I think it's one of our better. Callihan gets a 60, so if you remember earlier, Ace Austin, that's higher than him. Sami Callihan getting higher than Ace Austin, sorry, but Moose is lower. I believe Austin got a 58, 56. So Callihan outperformed him, but we haven't given Ace Austin a proper, sorry, I just hit my mic, we haven't given Ace Austin a proper push yet, outside of the tag division, so there's almost the possibility that Ace Austin could be world champion a lot sooner than I planned, maybe. And then we go straight into after maybe a commercial break or a couple cuts, some advertising, we cut next to EC3's entrance, over the top entrance. It's a star quality segment, by the way, so that 55 is based off of his star quality, which I think is an 85. And he's ready for his match against Eddie Edwards. 58, another great match, as EC3 defeats Eddie Edwards again in 15-47. So short world title matches, I guess, maybe. Like, nothing on this card is at 20 minutes, as EC3 makes the first defense of his Impact World Heavyweight title. Eddie got a 56, EC3 a 54, both lower than Ace Austin. At the minute, at least, anyway. But EC3 was off his game, so there's room for both men to probably do better stuff in the future. The dirt sheets, EC3 was penalized for holding back and inconsistency, and lack of heat from associated storyline. So the storyline must have went dud before the show, before the pay-per-view. But I think it's a good start to EC3's reign. I think there's interesting challengers. Of course, Sami Callihan, Rich Swann, if we end the storyline with Eric Young soon, and even Trey Miguel, if we ever do option C with the X Division. Brian Myers is undefeated and he's babyface. So there's some stuff to do there. Eddie's not totally gone yet. James Storm is, of course, putting in good ratings. William Mack, with a bit of a push, could be a world title contender. So there's a lot to do, and that's why we moved EC3 face, because there's just more on that side of the ballpark for him. 66, a great segment from EC3. I think one of the best we've ever had. And again, this is rated on his star quality. Just him celebrating, closing the show, holding the title above his head as he's pinned. You know, Mr. Impact Wrestling, Eddie Edwards, the guy who, from the start, we said, he's Impact Wrestling. So, a great segment to close the show. I think this could be our best show ever. Maybe. 59, I think it might be. I'll probably let you know in the next episode. We were in front of 650 people, by the way, so that's actually a good show. Yeah, really proud of that show then. Oh, I didn't do a post-match speech. That's my bad. But yeah, let me know down in the comments any of those things I asked about. Where we should go with Rich and Eric Young. Where you think we should go with maybe a Knockouts Tag Belt, Super X Cup. Some people you would like to be in those tournaments. Drop them down below. You know, would you like us to sign? Is it the Sea Pirates? Did Impact Wrestling get for their Knockouts tournament? Renee Michelle, of course, they signed as well. Jazz, I think as well they sign. Or would you like us to sign anyone for the Super X Cup? Any people out there maybe I wouldn't think of off the dome? Put them down below. I'll watch a couple of matches, and if I think they fit the product, or if they think where I'm going heading in that direction, let me know. Hopefully you guys like that show. I do think it was a really good show. I'll actually check now if it was our best, since we accidentally stumbled over here. Top 100s. Yeah, Turning Point is the best show ever by a whole 2 points. Our best matches. 61 is the best rating. So we're still a little bit to go before we catch that Bound for Glory match between Sami, Callihan, and Rob Van Dam. But I do think we'll get it. The best Turning Point match was EC3 and Eddie Edwards at a 58. So there's, you know, there's room to go before we hit there again. And the attendance was actually... Oh, it wasn't even up to standards with Emergence or Bound for Glory, which it was a far better show than both, so that's actually unfortunate. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. I hope you enjoyed it. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you. Cheers.